I want to share a story with you today. I wish that I were the originator of the story, but I am not. It actually came from someone from humble circumstances hundreds of years ago, but the message is so valuable for writing a book. You've probably already heard this story. It's famous. It's one of Aesop's fables. It's this fable of the tortoise and the hare. You know the story. The tortoise and the hare agreed to a long race, and they decided where they would have the race. They determined where the finish line would be, and they lined up on the starting blocks. On your mark, get set, go! And the hare took off, raced ahead, raced and left that poor tortoise in the dust as the tortoise slowly scooted along, not making much progress, but doing it consistently, step after step. Well, meanwhile, that fast bunny was so far in the lead that he had plenty of time to take a nap. And the truth is, when you're a rabbit, you can race really fast for a short amount of time, and then you're tired. And so that rabbit needed to take a nap. So he did. He found a nice soft place and he took a nap. Meanwhile, back to the tortoise, step after step after slow step, that tortoise kept scooting along. And the miracle of it was the tortoise crossed the finish line first. Now, there's an incredible analogy here to those that write books or want to. There are a lot of rabbits who want to write books. They decide, this is the weekend I'm going to work on my novel, and they clear out hours, maybe an entire afternoon, or maybe they're even feeling really industrious and they clear out the whole weekend, and they write and they write and they write and they write, and they get a lot of words written, but not all the words are written. They don't get to the end of the book in one sprint, because who can? It's too much for one entire sprint. And so they set it aside and they go rest. But the problem is, it's really hard to clear another weekend. It's really hard to get back to the project after you've recovered from that sprint. And so oftentimes those rabbits have a lot of started but unfinished manuscripts in their drawers. I wonder if you're like that. Or maybe you're more of a tortoise. That's the method that we propose in the right method. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what Aesop said hundreds of years ago, and it's true for writing a book right now. You can try to write it in sprints, but I don't think that's the best way to write a book. Some of you might be able to do that. If that works for you, you just write the way that works for you. But if you've tried other ways of writing a book, or you've never even started your book because it all seems so intimidating, try the tortoise approach instead. 500 words a day, day after day, until you get to the finish line. That's how you write a book. Before I go, I want to make sure that you also know that we don't want to overlook the strength of that hare. In fact, if we can harness the strength of a rabbit sprint along with our slow and steady approach, we've got the whole gamut covered. And that means that you can do certain parts of the writing process in sprints that work really well when you're looking at the entire manuscript as a whole. But there are certain parts of the manuscript that we want to follow that slow and steady approach. We want to start with the tortoise and really learn how to be slow and steady so that we are consistently churning out words quick as we can every day. And then we're going to learn to also harness the strength of the hare. Both have so much to offer.